Part 1. White Clouds. Garland Moon. Mutiny in the Mist. When the warm winds blow from the sea to the south of Adrestia, residents of Fodlan know that the rainy season is upon them. Before the heavy rains take their toll, young women hurry to pick the last of the white roses. The ivory buds are woven into garlands and given as gifts to close friends or potential lovers.
Professor, I have a new mission for your students.
We have received reports that Lord Lonato has rallied troops against the Holy Church of Seiros.
Lord Lonato is a minor lord of the kingdom. He's been showing hostility toward the church for some time now.
A vanguard unit from the Knights of Seiros is already on its way to his stronghold, Castle Gaspar. Lord Lonato's army is nothing compared to the Knights. It is quite possible the rebellion has already been suppressed.
Even so, I would like for your class to travel with the Knights' rear guard to deal with the aftermath.
War zones are unpredictable. We do not expect you will have cause to battle, but be prepared for the worst.
Excuse me. You sent for me, Lady Rhea?
This is Catherine. She will be leading the Knights whom you will be accompanying.
Nice to meet you. We've heard a lot about you. If you need anything, just ask.
She is one of our bravest knights, and that is no small feat. Only an exceptional few have what it takes to join the Knights of Seiros. This mission should prove useful in demonstrating to the students how foolish it would be to ever turn their blades on the church.
Hey, Leone. Are you just getting back? Whoa, what's with the bag? It's huge!
Oh, this? I thought I'd get all my chores done at once. Guess it got a little out of hand. Sorry to be a pain, but could you help me out?
I'm happy to help. Where'd you go to get all this stuff?
Well, first it was just the cloth scraps from the tailor, and then it was the used oil from a restaurant in town. After that, it was the books the scholars didn't know what to do with. I mean, that was just on the way.
Whoa, it sounds like you did a lot of running around today.
It wasn't so bad. I just figured it would save time if I did it all in one trip.
You planned all that out? Impressive! What are you gonna do with all that stuff you got?
The scraps will be good for dishcloths, and I can make soap from the oil. The books are just to help with my studies.
You really can't let anything go to waste, can you?
Nope, can't stand the idea.
Who knew you were so thoughtful? I mean, with actual thinking ahead. You're so generous to everyone and always making me food. I never knew how much thought you must put into it.
I cook to relax, and it's nice seeing how enthusiastic you get about eating what I make. Whatever I give away is just the stuff that isn't useful to me. I pick up all sorts of things when I'm in town. Giving things like that to people who need them or who can actually use them makes sure they aren't wasted.
That makes sense. You've got to use up the stuff you've got after all. Hey, do you think you're like this because you didn't have much growing up?
I guess times were tough now that you mention it. The folks in my village definitely aren't rich. My dad had to go through a lot of trouble to get the recommendations I needed to attend the academy. That doesn't mean I've grown up to be stingy. It just means I don't like to squander. Anyway, enough of that. It's in poor taste to go on about your own hardships. I've always got time for a meal with a friend, and it so happens I picked up some choice meat today. Why don't we share it?
Now you're speaking my language.
Hey, Professor. What are you doing daydreaming in a place like this? It's lucky. As spacey as you are, you're always reliable in a pinch. Not as much as you. It's hard to tell what's going on in that skull of yours. Your expression is always blank. Come on, smile. I was just playing around. Don't get mad. By the way, In the next battle, may I focus on logistical support off the battlefield? There's no use having a weakling like me in the middle of the action, and it would bring down morale if I were killed. Have you even seen me, Professor? Look at these noodly little arms! I should be cheering everyone on from the sidelines. It'll certainly improve the boys' morale, don't you think? Because even if I do, I won't be of any help. My big brother is the type of person who's supposed to be on the battlefield. For me, it's just a waste of energy. It's pointless. Everyone's cut out for something different. The right person for the right task, you know? Please, Professor, keep me off the battlefield, and maybe I won't tell everyone you were daydreaming. Dear Goddess, I ask for guidance. Professor, I suppose you came by to pray too? I see. That's why I'm here too. Oh, nothing specific. I only call upon the goddess to give thanks, or perhaps to ask for protection. Anyhow, I should be on my way. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't really know what to say. I'm not very good at talking to people. The truth is, I didn't interact with people too often before I came here. Oh, no particular reason. I'm simply not very good at it. That's just how I am. Thank you. I'm sorry. You shouldn't waste your time worrying about me. Please, just ignore me. I, have to be going now. Goodbye, Professor. Why do I have to clean the library? It looks like you're not busy. I was quite busy sampling pastries, I'll have you know. Who wants to sort books anyway? They're so bulky and heavy, it takes forever to lug them around. Right, Marianne? You agree with me, right? No, I don't mind it. Oh, you like cleaning then? I will say you look like someone who'd be good at it. Well... In that case, it's all yours. I'd only slow you down if I'm being honest. As I always say, if you want something done right, let someone else do it themselves. Right. I'm off to run some errands. I'll leave all this in your capable hands. Hey, Marianne, are you? Whoa, what happened? This place looks even worse than before. I didn't realize that was possible. I'm sorry, Hilda. I just didn't know the best way to organize the books while sorting. Oh, well, no way around it, I suppose. I'll show you how it's done. First, you have to decide where you'll put each topic. Then, all of the books that don't match that topic, remove them from the section. When you remove them, you need a temporary place to put them. Let's put books on magic here. Books on swordsmanship here. Once you've done that, you just put the books back in their sections, like so. Wow, Hilda, that was incredible. Yeah, what kind praise. Looks like in the end, I'm doing this whole thing on my own, Sorry. The least I can do is help you put them back on the shelf.
You. Just what are you up to?
Well, if it isn't Lawrence.
Yes, it is. Try not to sound so affronted. And you're just whimsically wandering the monastery grounds again, I suppose?
Oh, naturally. After all, I really do adore the Garrick Mach Monastery.
No, I think not. That impish look on your face does not suggest innocence. You are up to something.
Lawrence, control yourself. Let's not start throwing around baseless accusations. It's not proper. This monastery is packed with 1,000 years of history. Well,
5 years shy of 1,000 if we're going for accuracy. Those pillars, these walls, even the floor, they've all seen more than we can possibly imagine. Our distant ancestors may have walked these very halls. Doesn't that excite you?
Perhaps if this were a discussion about art, but I'm afraid walls and floors are not sufficiently interesting to hold my attention. Nor will they suffice to distract me from what is plainly suspicious about you. House Regan was on the brink of collapse until they suddenly revealed you as their legitimate heir. That was only a year ago. Where were you before then? Are you even a true heir to House Regan?
If I weren't truly of House Regan descent, how do you imagine I acquired my crest?
A crest is insufficient. I am referring to your noble disposition or lack thereof.
Well, that's what I came here to hone, after all. I can only hope that you will assent to instruct me in the art of snobbery, Professor Lawrence.
I do not think you grasp the significance of the responsibility you bear. Do you even know what it means to lead the Lester Alliance? I take no pleasure in saying this, but much of the chaos in our ranks right now is due to the failings of House Regan's leadership. I intend to set things right. And once I expose you for the fraud you are and reclaim my rightful place, that is precisely what I will do. To be blunt, it would have been better had you never shown your face here.
Sheesh, that guy. He just can't be reasoned with.
There we go. Time for a break.
Hey, Raphael, that's quite a load you've got there.
It was my turn to do the shopping again, but I might have overdone it.
Aren't those trips usually for food supplies? Why did you pick up a bunch of spears and gauntlets as well?
I was passing by the smithy, and the old man called me over. He said he was finished repairing the training weapons, so I grabbed them since I was already there.
I see. And those books?
I had just left the smithy when I ran into a merchant I recognized. He said he had some books that he brought for the library, so I took them off his hands.
Right. And that desk?
Oh, this? Can you believe someone threw this away? It only needs a little work and it'll be good as new. Someone around here was just saying that they needed a desk.
Of course. Now, this is just a friendly observation, but I see surprisingly little of the food supplies that we actually need.
Well, I worked up an appetite from carrying all this stuff, so I had a snack on my way back.
Raphael, I appreciate the thought, but you can't get so carried away with helping out like that. You helped us all right out of dinner. And now that I've seen your struggle, I have no choice but to join in this vicious cycle of charity. Here, I'll lend you a hand.
All of this stuff is pretty heavy. Are you sure you can handle it?
You insult me. And no, I can't. I'll only carry the books and offer my support as you handle the rest.
Ah! Claude, why didn't you say anything?
You were praying so fervently, I didn't want to interrupt.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I wasn't praying.
No? What then?
I was just thinking about the goddess.
Were you now? Fascinating. Please, go on.
Not here. Let's go somewhere else.
So, you were pondering the existence of the goddess then?
Yes. All right, consider this. The archives here have all kinds of texts about the goddess, right? But when people tell stories of the goddess, it's only myths and legends that glorify her.
They probably hope to rake in more followers by glorifying the goddess as much as possible. That would be why the church tends to quietly shove all of their more questionable records under some secret rug somewhere.
Claude, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just wondering what the goddess looks like. That's the kind of thing I like to think about.
What the goddess looks like? Well, I suppose if she really exists, she probably looks a lot like us. In fact, she probably wouldn't be so different from that old woman working here in the dining hall.
What? Claude, please stop. The goddess I imagine is absolutely beautiful.
How rude of you, Ignatz. I'm sure that old woman was lovely back in her day.
Ah, so I see. If one were to combine this incantation method with the power of a crest, then in theory, it should...
Hey there. Still studying, are we? Isn't it past your bedtime?
Claude, I really don't appreciate you interrupting me right now.
But if you don't get your sleep, you're never gonna grow big and strong.
Uh-huh. The last thing I need is you fretting over me as though I'm some child. I'm only a few years younger than you, you know. Hardly worth noting. Furthermore, my grades in magic and basically every other subject are far higher than yours.
Whoa there. I'm not trying to treat you like a child, I promise. This is me treating you like a princess. Now, come along, princess. Brush your teeth and get yourself ready for bed. I could read you a story if that helps.
Ugh, the audacity. Whatever it is you think you're treating me like, it's unendingly annoying.
If a child and a princess are out, what's left? Should I treat you as a noble hero? Draw your sword, Lysithea. If you wish to continue studying, you must first defeat me in battle. Come now, face me like the hero of legend that you are.
I find myself speechless in the wake of your staggering ignorance. Now, please, leave me be.
Okay, I can take a hint. But in all seriousness, you shouldn't neglect your sleep. You'll fall ill if you push yourself too hard. Oh, and just so you know, I heard a rumor that this library is haunted. It's probably not true. Right? Right. Anyhow, I'm off to bed. Good night.
You know, I am suddenly rather sleepy. Excuse me while I see myself out.
No matter how she tries to hide it, she's still a young girl at heart.
Claude?
Oh, Marianne. Have the gods taken pity on my lost soul and revealed a sign to me? I've been researching the 10 elites of Fodlan, but I can't tell fact from fiction. Anyhow, what can I help you with?
Well, I found this pendant, and I think it's yours.
Ah, right you are. Yeah, honestly, I'd resigned myself to never seeing it again. It's a keepsake from my uncle, who has passed on. If I truly lost it, my grandfather would have had my head. Thanks for returning it to me, Marianne. You saved my tail.
Please, it was nothing. I should be...
No, I think that's enough researching for today. Why don't you join me for a nice chat?
I just came to deliver the pendant.
Sounds awfully lonely to only talk to those whom you have business with. Do you really dislike talking to people that much?
It's just... I never know what to say. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. We'll figure it out as we go. Tell me, are you like this with your father too? Within the Alliance, Margrave Edmund is prone to debate. With a father like that, I would have thought...
Margrave Edmund is my adoptive father.
Oh, is he? I didn't know. Where were you born?
That is none of your concern. I really must be going.
She's hiding something, that much is clear. But that just makes me all the more desperate to know her secrets. Are you actually reading, Hilda? I thought you hated studying.
Oh, hush. It's just a letter from my brother. He sends them all the time.
Your brother, huh? Isn't he known as a great general of the Alliance? A true beacon of...
Don't even start. That's got nothing to do with me.
Uh-oh, better not let your brother hear you say that. 'Twould break his fraternal heart. But all joking aside, it sounds like he really cares for you.
You can say that again. He must be rather bored, too, now that the situation in Elmira has settled down.
Ah, the Elmirans, the Eastern Menace, as they're often called. I did hear your brother had fought them a number of times. In fact, I hear he's even gone toe-to-toe with Nadir, the great Elmiran warrior.
Nadir the Undefeated, was it? Just another grizzled old man as far as I'm concerned. But my father was ecstatic when he heard my brother had defeated him. He paraded my brother all over our territory. What a pain that must have been for our people.
A pain? Any celebration is something to be enjoyed. Celebration puts smiles on faces faster than anything. I'm sure even you at least congratulated him, right? A smile from you would surely mean the world to your brother.
Well, sure. Then he got all worked up and started saying things like, I am the protector of Fodlan.
That's not far from the truth, you know? Why do you think the Almirans have been so quiet lately? They're wary of your brother. If House Goneril of the Border were a bunch of weaklings, the Almirans would have invaded Fodlan a long time ago.
You talk about it as though you've spoken to the Almirans yourself.
Well, I am heir to the leading house of the Alliance. I'm privy to all kinds of information, whether I like it or not.
You act so nonchalant about your studies, but you know so much about politics and history. You're a hard guy to grasp, you know that, Claude?
Oh, I disagree. I'd let you grasp me any day. My hand, my heart, even my neck. But if you want to know all of my secrets, you'll have to bear yours as well.
Professor, I understand that you were looking to speak with me. Perhaps you would like some insight on how to write your next lecture? While I do have a great many ideas, it would be inappropriate to... Oh, am I mistaken? If that's the case, then what can I do for you? The ladies have complained? To you? About me? Preposterous. There must be some mistake. I am the heir of the noble House Gloucester. It is bred in me to treat all people with respect. Rest assured, you will not find anyone more upstanding than yours truly. Perhaps the issue is that the splendor of my noble presence is driving the ladies to distraction. If that is the crime, I do confess. I hope I've not troubled the ladies' hearts unduly. Outrageous! That's absurd! Who would dare to allege such slander? Of all the... Well, I suppose I have offered several of them the honor of dining with me. It is impossible to tell if even the most well-bred young lady is a suitable companion for me, merely by the sight of her. So, in order for us to get to know each other properly, it is appropriate that we dine together. Thus far, they have all declined, oddly enough. For some reason, they seem to be exercising some form of restraint when speaking with me. I would never insist, of course, but I will admit I have, on occasion, after a day's pause, issued repeat invitations, in the fashion and style of a gentleman. What? Ridiculous! Dinner invitations from me a problem? The very idea. I am a perfect gentleman, the son of a noble line. I've a wit like a rapier, and it takes but a glance to see that I'm gorgeous. No, I cannot believe such a thing. Are you sure this isn't the result of some sort of scheme? It cannot be otherwise. Someone has clearly devised a conspiracy against me. Someone who envies my position, who seeks to soil my sterling reputation with foul rumors. How crude. Please, Professor, it is beneath you to fall victim to such petty and obscene tactics. I implore you to take greater care in the future. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a great deal of work to do. Farewell.
Meat is the best! Veggies and fish are great too, but there's nothing like a good cut of meat.
May I join you?
Hey, Lawrence, you here to eat? It looks like you barely grabbed anything.
Please, this amount will suffice for me. There's no need to compare our portions.
No wonder you're so skinny. My little sis eats more than you. Come on, have some of mine. You need it more than I do.
You offer me half-eaten scraps? The nerve! With manners like that, even a nobleman would be an absolute disgrace. Have you no dignity?
You're pretty touchy, huh? It's probably just because you're hungry.
Raphael, please, do you mind? I cannot enjoy the simple pleasure of a meal in these conditions.
Why can't you enjoy your meal? You don't like what's on the menu? You wait here. I'll go to the kitchen and find something tastier for you.
That won't be necessary. Please, just let me eat. In peace. Alone.
I don't think you get it, Lawrence. Nothing goes with a meal better than good company. If leading the Alliance is your goal, you should really try eating with other people first.
I'm afraid I fail to see the connection between leadership and dining.
If you want to be a leader, you have to know how to get along with different types of people, right? If you really want to get to know someone, all you have to do is share a meal with them.
Quite the contrary, unfortunately. It seems the more time I spend eating with you, the less likely we are to become friends.
The more you eat with someone, the more you learn about them. their likes, their dislikes. You know, you might get some of their food that way too. You can eat more and bulk up. All that talking made me hungry again. I'm gonna go get seconds.
What an absolute bother. But I suppose he does have a point about observations of character at the dinner table. Ignatz, let us take a short break. I will pour tea. Please choose a teapot for us to use.
You want me to pick one?
I don't see any other Ignatz around here, do you? Go on now, we're wasting time. The pots are over here. I will leave the selection to your judgment.
Let's see. How about this?
That's rather plain. Why did you choose that one?
The tea you chose has a very subtle taste, as well as a smooth, light texture. Such an unassuming tea calls for an unassuming pot, and one that complements the tea's color. In addition, the pot I selected has a floral design. Although we can't go for a walk today, we can still bask a little in nature's beauty.
Very interesting. You know, you have an absolutely marvelous aesthetic eye. Precisely what I would expect from the son of a merchant house that has enjoyed the Gloucester's patronage for so many years. After we graduate, when you begin your trade in earnest, I will introduce you to my father.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. But I'm afraid I'm already on the path to becoming a knight.
Ah, right, you are a second son. Still, your eye for beauty is a talent that should not go to waste. Very well. If you are to be a knight, then I shall happily take you into my service.
Well...
What, does...
Not at all. I just need a little time to think it over.
His eye for the arts is unwavering, but in all other matters he is woefully indecisive. Lysithea, do you have a moment? There is a matter of significance I'd like to discuss with you.
I know you're always seeking the attention of ladies, but why are you wasting your breath on me?
Don't be silly. I want to discuss the future of the Alliance, to have a constructive and candid exchange of opinion.
I'm not so sure I'm the one being silly. Actually, I'm busy. Stuff to do.
Now, hold on just a moment. House Ordelia will never benefit from such a narrow-minded mentality.
I was under the impression you were interested in me as a person. What do house matters have to do with anything?
As it stands, the bonds between Alliance lords are quite weak. If this state of affairs persists, I'm afraid those bonds may dissolve entirely.
I couldn't care less.
House Ordelia may be small, but a small house is fettered by fewer obligations than a larger one. Apply yourselves actively in diplomacy, negotiate wisely, and you could do much to help maintain peace among the neighboring lords. The recognition of those lords would benefit your house immensely. To that end, why not start with me, the heir to House Gloucester? It couldn't hurt for us to become friends, could it?
Yes, of course, when the time comes. But right now, I'm quite busy. Maybe later. As it is, I'm studying magic for the benefit of the Alliance, and I would appreciate it if you left me to it.
Ah, I see. Then forgive the intrusion. I will take my leave of you for now. But if there is any way I can be of help, to you or your house, I hope that you won't hesitate to ask. After all, as I'm sure you know,
The future, he says. As though I have a future.
Hello, Marianne. You're well, I hope?
I am, Lorenz. Thank you.
I cannot help but notice you do not look it.
Is that so? I feel fine. Was there something you needed?
How unseemly of me. My apologies. It is not my intention to stare.
Does something about me seem off?
Oh, not at all. I was just remembering your father. Or rather, comparing my experience of him to you. Your father, Margrave Edmund. He is one of the shrewdest nobles in all the Alliance, with a noted gift for pointed speech. On and beyond the battlefield, his words have the power to move friend and foe alike. My own father has said he would not want to make an enemy of him. Naturally, I am of the same mind. Your father is blessed with gifts of confidence and eloquence, yet compared to him, you seem always reticent and downcast. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cause you discomfort. It's just that the contrast between you and your father is striking.
I have very little in common with my adoptive father.
But he sent you to Garreg Mach. Clearly he sees potential in you. I think I see it too. Yes, a certain charm, gravitas, if you will. Just like him. Oh.
I can't say that I know too much about him. I should be going now.
Yes, yes, of course. Please, take care. Oh, such grace, such serenity. How could such a beauty be hiding in plain sight? With a little polish, she would shine magnificently.
Ah, Lawrence. At it again.
Hello, Hilda. Are you training too? If that's the case, I may have to revise my opinion of you. Increased strength and skill would serve as perfect complements to your beauty and esteemed lineage.
No, I just left something here. I don't share your tireless work ethic. You're quite something. I don't think I've ever seen you take a break.
When the fate of all the Alliance rests on your shoulders. Besides, when my admirers see that even an
I see, but...
Oh, is there something...
Oh, the trouble is, I didn't even want to join the...
Of course. For a
It does. I mean, I can put on a tough...
Please, leave...
I'm so happy. You know, Lawrence, you're a good guy.
With each of your foes, yes.
What a guy. Maybe I'll...
Hey, Lawrence, got a minute?
Certainly. I trust you're well?
Doing great. I found a load of old weapons, just got done hauling them out of storage.
Old weapons, you say? If there are any interesting swords in there, I would love to see them.
They might only be good for training, but with a little care, who knows? Here, have some oil.
And, why?
Like I said, they need a little care. With a bit of maintenance, some of these will really shine.
Yes, I heard you. So why did you give me the oil?
It's for polishing, Lawrence. Don't tell me you've never polished a weapon before.
But that is hardly a task befitting someone of my station. If you had an exquisite blade, something of real historical...
In that case, appraise while you polish, you're bound to find something good working through these.
This seems as fine an occasion as any to air my grievances. I am a highborn noble. As such, it is my... What's more, you seem to be under the misapprehension that you can...
I'm not ordering you around. And I'm not talking to you as a noble, either. I'm asking you to help me with this. As a friend.
I am your friend, but I'm...
Oh, good. Let's get to it then, buddy.
Yes! Time for food! Hey, Ignatz! Is this seat taken?
Oh, hey, Raphael. I'm done eating, so you can sit here if you like.
Really? But there's still food on your plate.
It's fine. I'm not that hungry. Anyway, I guess I'll be heading off.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ignatz! Want to train with me?
Oh my, that equipment's looking rusty. Let me fetch some oil.
What's the matter? It always looks like that. Come on, we'll take care of it later.
Nope, you have to do it as soon as you notice. There's...
Hey, Ignatz.
Hello, Raphael.
Are you busy? I need to talk to you.
No,
Hey, hold up. Are you seriously gonna keep running away from me?
What? No, I'm not running.
Yes, you are. Every time I try to talk to you, you make up some excuse and run. What's going on? You were a lot friendlier to me when we were kids. You were always so excited to show me all the neat stuff you had whenever I came to visit. We'd play hide and seek with my little sis, draw pictures, and do other fun stuff too. Remember all that?
Things can't be the way they were. It's regrettable, but it's the truth.
Regrettable? What's there to regret?
I mean, you know, what happened to your parents. My parents are the reason your parents died.
What are you talking about? My parents died in an accident while traveling for work.
Maybe so, but they were taking over for mine because they had other business that day and couldn't go themselves. So they recommended yours to fill in for them.
Huh. I didn't know that. But what does that have to do with our friendship?
No, but see,
Oh, I see. But we're done talking about this. You gotta stop beating yourself up over it. It was an accident.
He's just putting on a brave face. No one is that forgiving.
just isn't coming together. The thought behind it is sound enough, but...
Hey, Lysithea, your forehead's all wrinkled. You look tense. Is something wrong? You know you can tell your big bro you know you can tell me anything, right?
Raphael, while I appreciate your offer, I'm not so sure you'll be much help here.
What does that mean? Oh, are you researching something complicated? In that case, yeah, you're probably right. Is there something else I can help you with? I'm really good at other things, like training.
I have absolutely zero interest in such things.
I have an idea. Do you want to get real good at playing tag? I can teach you. There's a trick to it that most people don't know, like to not get tagged and stuff. Let me show you. It's too sunny to spend all day inside studying. Come on.
Shut up, shut up, shut up! Can't you see I'm busy? What nerve you have, too, calling yourself Big Bro? Like I'm your...
Did I really say that out loud?
Anyway, my grades are miles better than yours. If you want to play the part of Big Brother, you'd probably benefit from studying way, way more.
Like I said, I'm really good at other things. Just not classroom learning.
I can't stand all the excuses. Clearly, you're the little kid here. You got all that? Now, don't bother me again. Understood? Bye.
She must be going through a rebellious phase. Hey, Marianne, what you eating? Mind if I join you? I'm starving.
Huh? Oh,
All my favorite dishes are on the menu today. I might have grabbed too much. You want some?
no thanks.
All you've got on your plate are leaves. Are you sure that'll fill you up?
I'm done eating now. I have to go.
Huh? You're already done eating? But there's still food on your plate. Hey, Marianne! Huh. Maybe she's not feeling well. I should probably go check on her later.
Oh, is that so? I'm so happy you found all of that food. A little gray starling told me that you can find berries if you fly out toward the mountains.
Oh, I found Marianne. I didn't know she spent her time here. It sounds like she's talking to someone.
What's that? You want to try some nectar from the flowers in the greenhouse? That might be tricky. I guess you could try it if I'm already there. Otherwise, you might get locked in.
Hey, Marianne! Who are you talking to? Huh? Oh, the birdie flew off.
Yes, it looks like he has. What are you doing here, Raphael?
You were acting a little strange when we were eating earlier, so I wanted to check on you. I was worried.
That's sweet of you, but I'm fine.
Are you sure? Well, that's good to hear. As long as... Wait a minute! Were you just talking to a bird?
Excuse me?
I knew it! You can talk to birds! I'm right, aren't I?
Yes.
That's incredible! This place is full of interesting folks, but I didn't think anyone spoke birdie.
No, that's not it. This bird just happened to be speaking human.
Amazing! I hope I get to meet a bird who speaks human one day. Right. Then this goes here.
Hello, Raphael. What exactly are you doing with that piece of wood?
Hey, Hilda. I'm just doing this.
With your bare hands. Impressive that just the outer ring is left. It makes quite a nice circle.
Yeah. I just gotta polish it up and paint it. Then the base of the necklace will be ready.
Sorry, did you say necklace?
How's it look? I bet it's the right size, too. And this tree bark smells amazing. Now I just need to carve these boar tusks to hang from it.
Boar tusks?
I almost forgot. I was gonna add these wolf claws, too. And I could even add some color to them.
And wolf claws?
Huh? Is something wrong, Hilda?
That necklace. It has a certain, rustic charm?
You're right. It really does. Want me to make you one while I'm at it?
Oh, no. I wouldn't want to trouble you. Besides, I think it would look better on you than on me.
It would definitely look good on me. but this one's actually a birthday present for my little sis.
For your sister? I mean, don't you think she might like something more feminine? Something cute?
Something cute? What's wrong with something tough and rugged? This necklace is gonna have tusks and claws and stuff.
But girls don't usually go for tusks and claws and stuff. There should be flowers or gems or... Here, I can talk you through it. If you're making a necklace for your sister, you might try putting a pretty little flower in a small crystal bottle and sealing it with resin.
If you say so. But where would I find a flower that was pretty enough?
Oh, honestly, I don't know much about flowers, but... Now that I think about it, I remember hearing about a splendid flower that only blooms near Fodlan's throat.
Fodlan's throat? That's on the eastern edge of the Alliance. I'd have to leave now if I'm gonna make it back in time.
Yeah, that does seem like a bit of a stretch. Okay, let me think. Where'd he go? Well, no matter.
Good morning, Lysithea. Out for a stroll, are we? It's lovely weather for it. I might go wander outside myself. I'm sure I can see some beautiful sights.
Ignatz, hold still, will you?
Sure.
Your shoes are untied. It looks sloppy. Let me just fix it for you.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. But really, I'm perfectly capable of tying them myself.
Clearly that's not the case. Otherwise, this wouldn't be an issue. Now, hush. There we go.
Thanks.
You've also got awful bedhead.
What? But I examined myself in the mirror before leaving my quarters.
It's the back of your head. Quite unkempt. You really should get it together. I mean, really. You're born to a noble adjacent merchant family, aren't you? You really should be more presentable.
Sorry, Lysithea. You're always so perfectly put together. In fact, I'd say you're perfect in all respects. I don't think I've seen you fail at anything.
Well, consider that if I make even the slightest misstep, everyone will treat me like a child. There's nothing I hate more than that.
I see. Well, I think you're very mature. If anything, you may be overdoing it somewhat. I mean, people treat me like a child sometimes. But I like it, because it reminds me that other people care about me. You know? No matter how much we stretch, some things are always beyond us. I think it's fine to be vulnerable and ask for help sometimes.
Ignatz, are you really lecturing me about how I conduct myself right now? You're a sheepish, unreliable scatterbrain who can only ever think about what others think of him. Perhaps you should worry about your own maturity before you start questioning mine. Although you certainly look the part of a baby, so maybe that's asking too much. Anyway, I've got things to do, so I'm gonna go now.
Lysithea, wait. Hey!
Out of my way! You're such a child, I swear.
That was uncalled for. After all, I am older than she is.
Is that everything?
Yes, that's the last of them. Thank you, Marianne. Just when I thought all the laundry was dry, the wind got stronger and... By the time I realized what was happening, there were clothes dancing across the sky.
That must have been frustrating to watch.
I didn't imagine they would float all the way to the stables. Thanks again for helping me pick them up.
It was no trouble. They landed right at my feet.
Well, now I can hang it all back up before sunset. Everything should be dry by the day's end. All right, I should get to...
Are you all right?
Uh-huh. The hamper's just a little heavier than it looks. Do you think you could give me a hand? Whew, we got here just in time. Thanks for the help hanging everything up.
It was nothing.
Huh. What is it?
I'm sorry. I know I'm not much fun to be around. I'm not very good at small talk either.
Oh, no, that's all right. After all, just look over there.
Huh? Oh, the flowers are lovely.
They were mere buds until just the other day. Now look at those gorgeous blooms.
How wonderful.
If we'd been chatting away, we might never have noticed them. Sure, the laundry was an ordeal, but at least there was a silver lining.
Hey, Ignatz. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Oh, it's true. Look.
Thank you. You were talking to your friend, right? I just have some things to...
Oh, Ignatz. I thought I saw someone earlier. You know, I'd have been willing to help. You could have just said, hey, let's go and clean.
It's all right, you were having a conversation. I didn't want to sneak up like I was eavesdropping, and really, I didn't need help.
Oh, Ignatz, you darling. You're
Glad to be of service.
not so fast.
Well, what's the matter?
Aren't you overdoing it? Don't you think you might be taking up...
Oh,
Let me give you some advice. It's true that I like to delegate as many tasks as I possibly can, but when someone helps me, I make sure. So, then we come out even. On the other hand, look what almost happened just now. You did all that work for me, and I almost met with no praise.
Personally, I'd prefer to lose out rather than inconvenience someone else. For instance, I'd have felt terrible for intruding on your important conversation earlier. Consider the negligible loss to me versus the major inconvenience to you. Personal loss is always going to be the better choice, right?
Huh. Well, if that's how you feel, then...
Oh, Professor, here's the map you... Well, there's always next time, I suppose.
Hey, Ignatz, didn't you have something to talk to the professor about?
Oh no, nothing urgent. You didn't cut short your conversation because of me, did you?
Come on, do I seem like the type to do that? No, I just had a couple of questions about the bows. We're done now, so I thought I'd come and tell you.
The bows? Is something wrong with them?
Lots of them have come in for repairs lately, so I switched out some of the strings for stronger ones. They've been breaking less, but now they're harder to draw.
Ah, I see. I suppose people would prefer if you went back to the lighter bowstrings.
Maybe. If the only issue was the draw weight, I'd just tell people to get stronger arms. But the real problem is that you can't shoot as fast. The arrows also fly too far now.
I can see how slower shooting is a drawback, but the arrows flying farther, that actually sounds like a good thing.
Sure, on open plains, but up close you lose accuracy. That's why I thought it might be good to use different bowstrings for different scenarios. I wanted the professor's opinion about that.
Oh, good point. You know a lot about bows, don't you?
Guess I do. I grew up in a hunting village, so I've been around them my whole life. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily better than anyone, but at least I know what I'm doing. And you? Do you have something you're really good at?
Me? Oh no, I don't think so.
Well, I'm sure you'll find your thing someday.
I hope so.
Oh, Marianne! There you are! Lysithea? What's all this commotion? What's happening? There's been an accident at the training grounds. A spell gone amok. Come on, we need all the help we can get over there. Oh no, but I don't know how We could really use your help before things get out of hand. Come on, hurry! I don't think I would... Oh, for the goddess's sake! You won't know unless you try, will you? Don't decide you're of no use without even giving it a shot. Fine then. Forget it. I'll go on my own. I'm sorry. I can't do anything right. Oh. Hey, Marianne? Do you have a minute? Listen, I'm sorry about all the stuff I said earlier. The situation was urgent, and I'll admit I wasn't thinking clearly. I shouldn't have been so callous. I hurt your feelings, didn't I? No, it's fine. I'm the one to blame. Huh? But hey, are you sure you're all... I'm the one who should apologize. All I did was get in your way. You would have made it to the training grounds much sooner if I hadn't slowed you down. Huh? Wait a second. It's all my fault. It's always my fault. You're being so... negative.
Lysithea? You're really pale.
Yeah, I've been feeling really queasy all morning. I'm just heading back to my quarters to rest.
Can you even make it there in that state? Here, climb on my back. I'll carry you.
What? No.
Always worried about looking like a kid. No time for that now. Just get on.
I'm feeling a bit better now. I should be okay from here. Thank you so much, Leonie. I hope I wasn't too heavy. Was I?
No, not at all. Actually made for a fun bit of training.
Training?
Yeah, carrying someone around is good for the legs. You're just the right weight for it, too. I might ask you to help me train again sometime. Anything can be a kind of training with the right attitude, you know?
Are you always thinking about training?
Well, I can't devote all my time purely to training. So it's more efficient if I can train while I get other stuff done at the same time.
Wouldn't that actually be rather inefficient?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, for example, if you're training for endurance, it seems running would be a better approach. If you're only ever training by cramming it in with other tasks, you won't be getting the best results. I'm no expert on the subject.
Come to think of it, you do always seem to stick to a pretty rigid schedule, don't you? I've noticed that you focus completely on whatever it is you've set out to do. Then you switch to something else and focus completely on that.
You've noticed, have you?
Now that I think about it, you may be right. Maybe that is the more efficient way to do things. Hey, you're really bright, Lysithea. Thanks so much for the helpful advice.
That was sweet of Leonie to check on me and carry me all the way to my quarters. And in the end, I just lectured her. She did thank me for it, but I probably could have handled that better. Why do I have to organize the library? I'll get in trouble if it's not done, and I can't think of anyone who'd do it for me. Since no one else is around, though, time for a little break. What are those sounds? Ha! Yeah! Leonie, always at it. How exhausting that must be. What's this?
Hey, what are you doing? That's mine.
If you leave it lying on the ground, people will think it's trash.
I usually wear it around my neck, but I put it down while I'm training so I don't get sweat all over it.
Well, people won't know that, will they? You should have just left it in your room.
It's a good luck charm. If I don't keep it close by, then what's the point?
How stubborn of you. I will say it looks to be a very well-loved charm.
Captain Geralt gave it to me when I was a kid.
If it's that important to you, you should wash it. Then again, I suppose it is made of wood. Have you considered coating it with resin? That would preserve it nicely. You could even accessorize it.
Thanks, but Captain Geralt made it especially for me. I'd really rather keep it just as it is.
Well, if that's how you feel, me personally, I'd choose it cute.
I'm sure you would. But Captain Geralt didn't treat me as some young girl. He treated me like a... I don't want to forget his teachings.
Huh, what do you know?